All right. I'm waiting. What? Who made science? Science. I don't know. I think. All right. What does it mean? Good question. It means math. Oh, not math. Math is good.
I actually enjoyed math this year.
All right. It's not hard math, guys. This is easy math. Okay? If you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you've got this in the bag. There's no calculus. There's no angles and geometry. There's none of that stuff. It's just, you can use a calculator. Your hardest part is going to be, when do I use this math? And what formula do I use? Okay? All right. I've never let you down yet, have I?
I don't know.
I don't want one.
Yeah. All right. Let's say we have H2O. Okay? Everybody knows the formula for H2O. This number right here, that number is called a subscript. You're already winning. Okay? There is no number right here. However, there is a number. You just can't see it. What's that number? Uno. Not ow. It's not ow, it's uno.
You know when you like roll your elbow and it hits a nerve and it shoots up your arm? What? No, like just forget.
Just ignore her. She's got a nerve in her arm. All right. Those bottom numbers tell you how many atoms are in that formula. So we've got 2 hydrogens and we've got 1 oxygen. The number that's in front here is called the coefficient. I think you know that from math, right? And the coefficient, whatever it is, it could be any number, tells you how many of this H2O you have. So if I draw, you good? If I put a 5 in front of H2O, that means I've got 5 H2. I don't know what just happened there. We'll blame it on Rob. He didn't even make a noise. That means I have 5 H2Os. Easy peasy lemon squeezy? Okay. You good? Okay. This number can be any number I want it to be. It could be 105. It could be 1,000. It could be 1,000,000. It could be whatever number, because all it's telling you is that I have that many. I think it's my sweatshirt. That many of whatever this is. Can I change these subscript numbers? No. Where do those subscript numbers come from? The formula, right? So if I change those subscript numbers, am I dealing with water anymore? No. Okay. All right, next word. This is a great word. Mole. Mole. A mole is a group. My cat drags moles in.
I wish I was kidding.
Oh, here. Does they bring them in the house?
No.
Okay.
They're not on board. They're always stable, and then I have to go pick them up.
Yeah. Okay. In chemistry, a mole means a group. Okay? It's not a molecule, it's a mole. All right, so if I once again draw H2O, and I look at just H2O, there's a 1 here, the coefficient is 1, that is saying I have 1 mole, 1 group, and in that group I have 2 H's and an O. That's my group. So if I write 5 H2Os, then I have 5 groups. These are the groups. Capiche? Okay? So 5 H2Os means I have 5 moles of H2O. Mole is just a fancy word for group. If I have 5 groups of H2O, this... What just happened? Oh, because I had this on.
No, don't. You should half screen it. So we don't. Yeah, you should half screen it. Yeah, can you put it?
Can I quarter screen it so just make her a little smaller? Okay. That scared me. I thought there was some guy was coming out of the wall. All right. 5 moles of H2O. You got it? Okay. When you see the word mole, I want you to reread the question with the word group in there. Okay? So if I say, how many groups of H2O do you have? You're going to tell me 5. Okay? 5 groups of H2O. So the way I would read this, let's do some more than my other class did, because you guys are smarties. Okay, let's say we have this. Okay? This is an equation. Now, I'm going to take it up one notch. Over here, these are called the reactants. This is called, in this case is only one, but there could be more than one. These are called the products. The arrow is where something is happening. Can you see? Is that better? Two. H2, O2, H2O. You don't like my 2s? All right, hold on. I'll try to make them better. Is that better? Sure, whatever you say. So when I go to read this, this is what it's saying. 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen will produce, yield, makes, creates, whatever you want to say here for this arrow. Just usually use the word yield. I'll probably say makes or creates. Okay. 2 moles of H2O. 2 groups of hydrogen and 1 group of oxygen will make, create, yield 2 waters. Okay? Cordy, put that away. If I have 2 H2s, this is 1 H2. You with me? Actually, you know what? I'm going to draw them in. I'm not going to draw them in letters. I'm going to do this and this. Okay? That's H2. And this is another H2. They're connected to each other. 2 groups of H2. H2 and H2. And 1 group of O2. I'm doing a different color. Okay? The reactants are what we start with. I now am going to put energy in to break these bonds. Broken, absorbed. I'm going to absorb energy and break these apart. You with me? Okay. Then they're all going to go all mixy mix, and we will be able to make how many waters? 2 water molecules. Now notice that whatever I started with doesn't exist anymore. This is a story. This is what I am starting with. Something is happening. It's getting all mixy mix. This is what I'm ending up with. Did I have anything left over? No. You cannot have anything left over. Whatever you have when you start has to be what you have when you finish. So, 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen will produce 2 waters, 2 moles of water. If you want to say it in groups, you can say 2 groups of hydrogen and 1 group of oxygen will produce 2 groups of H2O. Got it? All right. Now, back to moles. How big is a mole? How big is this group? When we write it down like this, it looks like it's just one thing in that group. But if I say to you, who should we pick on? Trinity. Please go to the store and buy me a dozen eggs, Trinity. How many eggs are you going to bring me? No. How many eggs are you going to bring me? 12. Okay. Lexi, please go to the store and buy me a dozen jelly beans. How many jelly beans are you bringing me? 12. Okay. Willow, please go to the store and buy me a dozen elephants. How many elephants are you bringing me? 12. So the word dozen is just like a mole, except for a mole is not 12. A mole is this number. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's how many things. So again, if I say, oh boy, Panak. What? What do you mean draw it? Write the number? We're gonna write it in scientific notation in a second. Just hold on. Panak, go to the store and buy me a mole of eggs. How many eggs are you bringing me? Panak, focus. You're too worried about writing this number down. Okay? A dozen is 12. So let's go back. Trinity's bringing me a dozen eggs. Lexi's bringing me a dozen jelly beans. Willow's bringing me a dozen elephants. I gave you a hard job. Okay? If you bring me a dozen, she's bringing me 12 eggs, 12 jelly beans, 12 elephants. Panak, if you bring me a mole, this is how many you need to bring me. Bring me a mole of eggs. How many eggs are you bringing me? That many. Okay? That's a huge number. I don't think you'll be able to carry them all. Okay? If I said to you, bring me a mole of French fries, you're bringing me that many French fries. It doesn't matter what the thing is. It's just telling you how many are in that group. Now, we don't want to run around saying this number. It's a big, big number. So we just use the word mole instead. We say 1 mole, and we know that we're talking about this number. If I ask you to write this number down, you're going to write it in scientific notation. You're not going to write it in standard notation. So here's the number in scientific notation. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. It's got a 6 with 23 zeros after it. The regions use 6.02, so that's why there's a 2 here. It could be 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay? It's a lot. If you start counting right now for the one number per second for the rest of your life, you can't count that high. That's how big that number is. It's really, really big. So let's just let's go over here by our little eagle friends.
Can you give me a mole of dollar?
I would love to. I just want to start the thing up again. Because if I have 5 groups of water, I have this, again, I really should just draw it once, but. And if I separated them all out, it would be 10 H's. And how many oxygens? How many groups of oxygen would I have? 5. 5 groups of oxygen. You have to be able to count the number of atoms. I can still see you. I'm important too. You're going to hurt my feelings. Okay. What about if we had something like this? Calcium sulfate. Okay. Calcium sulfate, and I have 1 mole of calcium sulfate. I'm going to leave that off, but there's a 1 there. How many calciums do I have? 1. How many sulfurs do I have? 1. How many oxygens do I have? 4. Easy, right? Okay. What about if I had aluminum nitrate? How many aluminums do I have? How many nitrogens do I have? Not 1. 3. Okay, so how many oxygens? 9. So really what this turns out to be, it turns out to be 1 aluminum with a +3 charge, remember that? And 3 NO3s. That means I'm going to have 3 nitrogens, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to have 3, 6, 9 oxygens. Okay? Now that seems pretty easy, right? Except for they don't always give it to you in this nice, neat formula. They might do this. Ooh, that's a highlighter. Magnesium. You want to do sulfate? All right, magnesium sulfate. Now, how many magnesiums do I have? What do you have to do before you can answer that question? Write the formula, which is why I made a huge deal about how to write formulas, right? So we got magnesium, which is Mg. We've got sulfate, which is SO4. Good job. We're going to put the charges in. We're going to cross them down. And we're going to lower it to the lowest whole number ratio. So our formula looks like this, MgSO4, which means we have 1 magnesium, we have 1 sulfur, and we've got 4 oxygens. Should we answer it? Hello? This is me. Is that you? That's all right. What's up? Yeah. Yes, I do have her. Yeah, I'm going to send her right now. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And then she's going to come right back. All right. You got it. You got it. Bye. Mr. Nisi wants you. Go. Right now. 225. It's for your Powder Puff t-shirt. She's like, send her to me right now.
I think she was just done.
Yeah, she wants it out of there.
I forgot.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, 226.
225. You're welcome. What's that? Panak, are you on your phone?
I'm not actually.
Okay. Put your hands up there so I can see them. Yeah. Is he on his phone? All right. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to give you a couple to work on. Let's do diphosphorus. Pentachloride. Okay. What's the formula look like? P2, Cl5. Here's the thing. This is covalent. This is a covalent compound. It's not ionic like the last one we just did. And I knew that because I have these prefixes. It actually makes it easier for you, right? You just look at phosphorus, and there's 2 of them. Chlorine, and there's 5 of them. So we write P, there's 2 of them. Chlorine, there's 5 of them. Oh, thank God.
You like it?
I thought they were pink.
No.
Oh. They should be pink.
I know.
They should be pink. Like Powder Puff, right? Don't they have like, you go, makeup. You know what I'm talking about? All right, let me stop this for a second. Let me give you some to practice. No, it is not covalent. It's a metal and a non-metal. So we've got calcium. Yoo-hoo. Shh. And fluorine becomes fluoride. How many calciums do you have? Uno. How many fluorines do you have? Dos. Okay. It's ionic, so we do not have to worry about prefixes. You do, however, have to worry about if there's a Roman numeral here. Does calcium need a Roman numeral? No, because there's only one choice. All right, let's do the next one. BeOH2. Beryllium. Okay. OH is? Very good. Hydroxide. Does it need a Roman numeral? Well, you should have a periodic table in front of you, and then you can say definitely. That a girl. Good job. Beryllium only has one charge, so therefore you don't need a Roman numeral. All right, we got one beryllium in that thing. We've got how many O's?
2 O's.
And 2 H's. All right. The next one, is it ionic or covalent? Covalent. Yeah, you are guessing. You shouldn't be. Listen, the first question, Cordelia, the first question you're going to ask yourself, is it ionic or covalent? If it's ionic, it's a metal and a non-metal. If it's two non-metals, it's covalent. That's the first thing you do. Yeah, you need that in front of you. If you have a good friend sitting next to you, you guys can share them. Okay, when we name covalent compounds, Panak, name this sucker for me. Wrong. This one right here. NO2. Very good. Nitrogen di, because there's 2 oxygens, oxide. Okay, you've got 1 nitrogen, and you've got 2 oxygens. You are a mess today, girlfriend. All right, I'm gonna let you do the last 5 up there by yourself. Let's go back down to the bottom now. I'll do a couple of them with you on the bottom.
Lexi, stop ordering Chipotle. Wait.
Nitrite would have a charge on it. It doesn't, hold on. Shh. It doesn't have a charge, so it's nitrogen dioxide. If it had a negative up here, then it would be a nitrate. Yes, then it's a polyatomic ion. All right, down here, look at this one. Is this ionic or covalent?
Covalent. It's covalent.
Covalent. You've got phosphorus, which is a nonmetal, and chlorine, which is a nonmetal. Plus, you have this tri thing right here, which tells you it's being named with prefixes, so it's covalent. Covalent gets named with prefixes, ionic doesn't. So, phosphorus is P. It doesn't say monophosphorus because there's only one of them. Tri means how many? 3 chloride. 3 chlorines. So, phosphorus, there's one of them. Chlorine, there's 3 of them. All right, let's do the next one. Is it ionic or covalent?
Ionic.
It is ionic. Magnesium is a metal. What's hydroxide? OH minus, which is a polyatomic ion. So we've got magnesium and we've got OH. Am I done writing this formula by just sticking those down? What do you have to do?
Number.
Put the charges on. Cross them down. MgOH2. All right, now we can determine how many of each you have. Magnesium, you have 1. How many oxygens?
2.
And how many hydrogens? 2. Good. All right, I'll do the last one. Potassium phosphate. Potassium is K. What's phosphate? Look on table E. Don't look up here. PO4, what's its charge? Look at table E. I know you know. Not. Yes. What is the charge on phosphate? -3. All right, what do I do with these charges? Cross them down. So K3PO4. How many potassiums do I have? How many phosphorus? 1. And how many oxygen? 4. All right, I'm stopping the tape.